So, I know that you guys would have done this with a bit more accuracy than I'm going to do this right now, but I want to go through a little bit of terminology with you. I'll just spread these out a little bit. Cool. Can everybody see one of the screens okay? That's good, about 4 people can. So, these gaps that are in between each of my clips, can anybody tell me what they're called? Fair enough. These gaps are called ripples. Kind of like the chocolate thing that's a little bit like a flake but a million times better. Yeah. Controversial, right? Yeah. But if you've never had like a 99 with a ripple, you're missing out on life. To remove the ripples, right, you can drag each clip, but it's quite tedious. Because once you drag one, you've got to drag all the others. You can press A, which will change the cursor into a track selection tool, and then wherever you click, it'll select everything to the right of it, which is quite useful. But there's an even more useful way than that, which is you can control click and choose ripple delete, and it'll delete your gaps for you and nudge everything over. So it's useful to know what a ripple is because it makes your life a lot quicker when you're trying to tidy up a timeline. Oh, I'm really sorry, Chris. Let me do a screen share for you. So just to go back through that for Chris at home, can make a bit of space there. I've got this gap here, that's a ripple. Control, ripple delete. Now there's various ways that you can try and remember that, but if you try and remember it as an ice cream, it's not going to help you. So just try and remember it as a ripple. Okay, it again throws itself back to early filmmaking days where you'd have ripples in the film stock, where you've got excess areas and you'd cut the ripples out. Most of the terminology in editing is thrown back to film editing because the people that edited film just carried it over into digital and they brought all the terminology with them. I want to show you a different way of editing now, which is less efficient for what you're doing as the task, but it's far more efficient if you're working on multiple clips. And this process is using 2 keys. It's using the I key and the O key. That's I for indigo and O for octopus, or I for in and O for out. So I've double clicked the clip into the source monitor at the top, and if I play it through, while walking in the forest, you've all seen the clip. I want to start my edit from the very beginning, so I'm going to press I, and do you see the way that that area changed colour? There once was I'm going to play it through. Now I prefer to do what's called scrubbing through time, which is where you hold down shift and hold right. Because I'll see it quicker. So there's a different one. Go to that point there. I'm going to press O now and it marks my output. And again, this grey bar in the source monitor has changed. And then I'm going to drag it from the source monitor onto my timeline. And it's going to take only that section of video that's from into my out point. There once was a girl named Goldilocks who, while walking in the forest one day, came upon a house. Okay, and then I'm going to go back through this video clip and I'm going to find the next bit. I'm going to mark the in point. I'm going to mark the out point and I'm going to drag that clip down. There once was a girl named Goldilocks who, while walking in the forest one day, came upon a house. But Goldilocks wanted to. And I know that's in the wrong order and I can move it around afterwards. Now if you're working on a music video or you're working on a film and you've got a significant number of clips and you just want a small section of each clip, if you try dragging all of the files onto your timeline and then you try editing it with the razor tool, what you end up with is a massive mess of files. You don't know where anything is, and a lot of people will end up with like this really redundant area of the timeline where they shove all the bits that they're not sure whether they want or not. Whereas if you edit with your in and out points in your sequence monitor, it allows you to be quite precise with what you're doing. Just pressing I and then pressing O. And there's other bits you can do here, so I could go in between these two clips here and I could choose this button which says Insert. And if I click on Insert, it will then put that clip that I've marked the in and the out in between those two clips. I can use it to overwrite areas. There's quite a lot of control it gives you. If I only want the video, I can just click on the video symbol in my preview monitor and drag that down. It'll just bring the video clip down. If I just want the audio, I can click on the little audio icon and I can just drag the audio down. So it maybe gives you a bit more, it doesn't give you more control, it gives you the same amount of control, it just gives you the same amount of control with a lot more efficiency. Because the other way you'd need to do it, if you only wanted the video, you'd have to go through it and control click and choose unlink media, at which point you could then select the audio track and delete that. Whereas using your source monitor to preview it up there, you can just literally just drag the video clip down and it will only be that video clip. So what I'd like you to have a go at doing now for me is picking a different one to edit. There was, I think, 3 nursery rhymes embedded in there. Most of you have had a good crack at one of them. I'd like you to have a go at the second one, but I'd like you to edit it all using the preview monitor at the top. So use I for in, O for out, and then drag it onto the timeline and then reorder accordingly. That's your next task, please.
Do I export this now?
Yeah, or you can just shove it over to the side or start this one after it.
So how would I, is this the edit? Yeah, that's not.
No, that's the original version.
Oh, okay, so then she'll just use that.
And put it at the end, yeah.
I want to use something and then I finish where I wanted that. Would the clip then be put in here, or would it just be put in there?
It'll put it wherever you drag it to.